And here it is, guys, my new family car and the new car to the channel. And believe it or not, guys, this car is actually very, very rare. So just to quickly tell you about the car, guys, this is a 2021 BMW X5 xDrive 40i. With some other things, guys, it is mineral white and it has some beautiful gloss black wheels. And then on the inside, we have black interior. But my favorite part, it actually has the aluminum style trim instead of the brown wood, which you see a lot when you get these cars with black interior. This interior is absolutely beautiful. It's not too crazy, like it's still subtle looking, but I love this interior trim. It looks so much better than the wood. The seats are nice and comfortable. And yeah, just overall, like it feels new. It's not the newest one, obviously there's the LCI, but it still feels very new and modern. We actually went to go see one that had ivory interior, and as beautiful as that was, we kind of decided against it because this is gonna be a family car, and having kids in the back with ivory interior would probably not be the best idea. So we decided to get black. It's just like the most future-proof, kid-proof. I know sometimes black feels basic, and most of my cars usually don't have black interior, but for a family car, I think this is perfect. Now, to tell you guys a little bit more about the car, it is pretty nicely optioned. It's not fully loaded. There's definitely some packages that it's missing, like the Sky Lounge, which is really cool. However, for a family car, I think this is perfect. It has things like the M Sport package, as you guys can tell. It has the convenience package. It has actually the M Sport brakes with red brake calipers, which is really cool. And then it has a few other like weird things, like a heated armrest, which is kind of funny. But point is, guys, it has pretty much everything that we feel like we really need. Nothing really excessive, but that's fine. Again, this is going to be a family car, but of course, you guys already know we're not going to be leaving it stock. Now, in terms of future plans, I'll definitely go into that. We're definitely going to be tuning this thing, guys. It feels a little underpowered, even though it has the B58. We're going to be doing some cosmetic stuff. There's actually not too much. The nice thing is it already has the black grills, all the black accents, because this does have the extended shadow line trim, has the black wheels, the red calipers. Like, it already looks really, really good, especially in the mineral white. I mean, just look at that in the sun. It's absolutely stunning, guys. The rear end of the car looks really good as well. It's definitely really boxy, definitely much bigger than my X3. So we'll get into future plans in another video, because honestly, guys, I have so many ideas for this thing already. We're not gonna be going like too crazy. Again, it's a family car. You guys already know the G80 M3, and the next car that's gonna be replacing the F30. We're gonna go crazier on those cars, but this car is mainly gonna be driven by my wife, so I wanna make sure it stays practical, it stays safe. I mean, if you guys couldn't tell, I literally have 2 car seats back here. So this is definitely gonna be a family car, but you guys know me, we're still gonna have fun with it, because as good as it looks right now, I feel like we can make it look better, and we can definitely make it faster. Obviously, guys, if money wasn't a factor, I would have gotten one that was fully loaded and just done that, but you know, money's always a factor. So if you guys are wondering why, you know, that's why. If you guys are wondering why I didn't get the V8, that's actually not just about money. And then also, why I didn't get the LCI, that is also not about money, and that has to do with why this car is so rare, which, let me just explain that really quickly. So, for context, if you guys go on like cars.com and you search for an X5 that was 2019 plus, basically the G05 chassis, which this one is, there's gonna be about like 8,000 of them for sale in the US. That's a lot, but this one has something, not something that I've mentioned so far. This one has something that only about 40 of them have, and then of those, only about like 20 of them are M Sport. So this X5 is actually like one of 20 in all of the US. If you're wondering what that is, let me show you real quick. So obviously, as you guys can see, I have some nice car seats right over here. That doesn't really leave much space for more passengers, right? Like if I have, I don't know, just one friend or my in-laws come over or something like that, they have like between the 2 car seats, but that's already tight and that's only one person. However, this X5, if you press that button, this seat will move up. You guys can already tell where this is going, right? This seat will go up. It's pretty slow, but it'll get there. And then in the back, that's right, guys, you have a third row. Again, guys, that is super rare because legit only like 20 of them in the US have an M Sport package and a third row, and that's out of like 8,000 for sale. So if that's not rare, I don't know what is. Well, I know some of you guys are watching this and saying like, well, it's an X5, didn't they always have a third row? Well, the F15 chassis, the one that's before this, a lot of them did. It was very common, but in 2019, BMW started making the X7. When they made the X7, they made all X7s have a third row. So from BMW's perspective, they stopped putting a third row in the X5 because they didn't want to cannibalize on their sales of the X7. They basically wanted to say, hey, if you want a larger SUV, get an X5 as opposed to like an X3. But if you want one with a third row, you get the X7. If they put a third row in the X5, obviously not a lot of people would have bought the more expensive X7. So BMW was kind of trapping people in a way. That's how I always understood it. So I actually considered getting an X7 for the longest time. However, after doing some research, I found out that in 2019 plus, so like 2019 to 2023, you actually could get an X5 with a third row. It was just a special request. So why was that so important to me? Well, again, guys, my family is growing. I now have 2 kids, and just having that extra space is so important. Now, if I have my in-laws come over, if I have friends that want to go out with me and my family, we can definitely do that. People can sit in the third row. When my kids get older, they can sit in the third row, and I can have people sit in this bench. So it just adds so much more usability to these cars. Now, there are more options that are non-M Sport, but you guys already know I had to get an M Sport. And then the other thing is, this SUV to me is the perfect size. The X7 is just way too big. It's way too excessive for my family. My wife hates driving a car that big. However, this one I feel like is the perfect size. It's spacious, but it doesn't feel like a bus. Like, it definitely feels way bigger driving it compared to the X3. The X3, well, actually, you know what? We'll save that for another video, but just know, guys, it does feel bigger than the X3, but it doesn't feel too big. It's the perfect size. The back seat is more spacious than the X3, so people can sit there more comfortably. I can have a car seat behind me while I'm driving and not feel like I'm pushed forward. So all that's to say, the X5 was a perfect car. It was just killing us that they didn't have a third row, but when we found out that they did, well, we had to find one, and we did. So hopefully you guys are happy with this decision, because this car is going to be featured on the channel a lot. I know myself and my wife are definitely ecstatic with it. We absolutely love it. I remember I actually took a poll asking you guys which BMW SUV you'd rather see on the channel, and the X5 alone got like 60-something% of the vote. So it seems like a vast majority of you guys like the X5 platform. Maybe you own one, or maybe you're thinking about getting one for your future when you have a family. So maybe I can make some content and convince you guys about it. But anyways, if you guys want to see more videos about this X5, you already know what to do. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop it a like. It really helps me out. And yeah, anyways, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.